Episode 6. Martial Arts. Having such a big selection of martial arts gave Bobby endless excitement. He couldn't hold in his happiness and laughed with his head raised. Quite a period of time passed until he calmed down. Back home at Belmont, a middle-rank martial arts skill was worth a couple hundred silver, but the money Bobby received per month was only 10 silver. Of course, he couldn't take the facility's skills out and sell them. If he did that, he would get punished. They would cancel his membership and then kick him out. Bobby took 100 books out from the martial arts library. Most of them were high class, and all of them had at least a past person train it. So, he could use their experience. However, to choose a few martial arts skills from among these books wasn't easy. It was good that all of these books were fully imprinted in his mind, because he only needed one thought to compare them against one another and choose the one most suitable for him. A single martial art could increase his strength. With the combination of many martial arts, it could only help his skill set. Bobby only used half an hour to choose the skills from the 100 books. They were lightly floating fairy, angry dragon fist, air-pushing breathing technique, and continuous meteorite arrows. Lightly floating fairy was definitely the highest ranked skill out of all of them, and Bobby had a high chance of solving the missing words. After that came angry dragon fist, an air-pushing breathing technique. These skills also complemented one another. Angry dragon fist was one of the peak books of the middle rank, and the damage dealt by it was high. It compressed one's strength into one strike, and the power was so incredible that it was stronger than some of the high-ranked martial arts. Bobby had high expectations for Angry Dragon Fist, because it increased one's physical strength. Strong body strength was the foundation and minimum requirements for developing Chi. Chi was something that made someone a true martial artist. Air-pushing breathing technique was also a peak middle-rank martial art. It developed one's body strength, blood, and body. When trained to a high level, there was a chance to understand Chi. Angry Dragon Fists and air-pushing breathing technique work perfectly well together. And when used together, the power of it is at least compared to high-rank martial arts. And there is an increased chance to understand the concept of inner strength. Bobby thought to himself, as he felt immensely overjoyed. As for the last skill, continuous meteorite arrows, it was also close to high rank. Why did he choose an arrow skill? This was because it worked well with Bobby's left eye. If I do not learn an arrow skill, then I'd be sorry for my left eye, Bobby thought, as he had a smile curl upon his lips. It could be imagined, with his left eye's abilities, he'd be a natural godly archer. And if he perfected the arrow skill, it would be a great advantage for him. After choosing martial arts skills, Bobby started to practice. He first started with the air-pushing breathing technique, as a strong body and a good blood flow was the foundation of being a good fighter. The stronger one's body was, the damage from the angry dragon fist in close combat would be stronger. Closing his eyes, Bobby's mind entered the contents of air-pushing breathing technique. A while later, his body's blood started to move slowly. This is easy, as he felt shocked to be able to perform it with so much ease. According to the contents of air-pushing breathing technique, most people that could move their blood needed at least 4 to 5 days, or even up to 15 days. Could it be that I'm a genius? Bobby thought a bit, and then disagreed with himself, because if he was a genius, then it wouldn't have been so hard for him to break into the second level in the first place. He realized that after merging with his mysterious left eye, his mind's energy had increased. His reaction speed, understanding, and analyzing speed all now exceeded that of normal people. When he was learning the air-pushing breathing technique, he could feel his left eye being exerted. At the same time, in the pitch-black dimension, the 67-centimeter radius of the faint green light was spinning at an increased rate. Half a day later, Bobby had trained the air-pushing breathing technique to the first level, and his body gave off a faintly disgusting smell of sweat. He felt that his body's strength had become stronger by at least 30%. I did it? Bobby thought, as he felt somewhat incredulous. Air-pushing breathing technique was divided into 3 levels, and once one trained to the peak of the 3rd level, there was a chance to comprehend Qi. After another half-day, Bobby had already trained the air-pushing breathing technique to the peak of the 1st level. But when the speed started slowing down, he changed his mind and started training an angry dragon fist, which paired up with the air-pushing breathing technique. As expected, with the foundation of air-pushing breathing technique, the speed of learning angry dragon fist was very fast. In only half a day's time, Bobby learned all of the 81 moves to a beginner level. Angry dragon fist had extreme power, especially when used with air-pushing breathing technique. The explosive strength was incredible. The most surprising part was that after learning Angry Dragon Fist, the air-pushing breathing technique broke through to the 2nd level, and even went a bit further. The 2 skills accompanying each other had an incredible effect. No wonder they're perfect for each other. Bobby laughed and said to himself. For the next 5 days, Bobby kept on learning Angry Dragon Fist and air-pushing breathing technique, training himself to learn both skills at an incredible speed. At this time, Bobby's skill level was close to the peak of the 3rd rank of the martial path. Just a bit longer, and I can reach the peak of the 2nd rank. Then the 3rd rank won't be far away either. Bobby was full of expectations. The next day, Bobby left home and headed towards the training ground. This was because the art form of the lightly floating fairy and continuous meteorite arrows needed open space to practice. Soon, Bobby arrived in a corner of the field, where they practiced with bows and arrows. Swoosh! An arrow left an afterimage in the air, and shot straight into the center of a target 50 meters away. Great arrow skill. It's no wonder that Brother Andy is one of the center's top 3 godly archers. This arrow could probably break straight through the defense of a 3rd rank, and even kill muscular wild beasts. Excited shouting came from the side. Formidable, Bobby exclaimed. He knew that the boy named Andy was famous for being a godly archer in the sect. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Zhao Yui pulled the string and shot out 5 arrows at lightning speed, which formed a ring around the target's bullseye. Awesome! The students around started cheering. Bobby didn't pay any more attention, because he felt that if he tried, he could also become a godly archer. He went to an open space and picked up a random bow. He then squinted his eyes, as if he was aiming. As soon as he picked up the bow, the students around the field focused on him. Look, who's that? He looks new. This kid is called Bobby, and he came from a recruitment branch half a year ago. Not long ago, I heard that he offended Peter. Imagine offending the one who was ranked 3rd among us. I also heard that even his girl left him now. Someone who recognized Bobby said. Town recruit, you say? Let's take a bet. See how many targets he hits. A few disciples looked mockingly at Bobby. Arrow skills need talent and integrity. It's not something anyone who wants to learn can learn, Andy arrogantly said, as he looked down on him. Bobby did not bother with these people. He barely used his left eye, and the target 50 meters away in his vision became bigger and bigger. Swoosh! The arrow string trembled, and the arrow flew through the air, barely landing on the target, but then fell off onto the ground. Bobby started sweating, as this was his first time using a bow. The students around the field raised their heads and laughed. Bobby was calm. Missing on the first arrow was normal. Next, he used more energy on his left hand and merged the continuous meteorite arrow skill into his heart. Swoosh! The second arrow went straight to the target and was 1 ring away from the bullseye. 9th ring. The field turned silent. Those that were laughing had their faces freeze. Even Andy's brow furrowed. 9th ring. This was very close to the center. To shoot from 50 meters away and hit it was good for even some of the older archers. Luck. This must be luck. You're right. A beginner cannot shoot this accurately. His first arrow did not even hit the target. The students watching started laughing again and looked at Bobby. However, just before they finished their words, the third arrow shot through the air. Swoosh! The arrow shot out like lightning and hit the target. Dead center. The field turned silent once more. Even Andy was shocked. They all had confused faces and stood there frozen. My luck is not that bad, I guess. Isn't it? Bobby said as he gave a little smile as he turned towards the crowd watching. Luck? What's up with this guy? Most of the archers had queer faces on. Any archer was a beginner from the start. However, it was their first time seeing someone with such luck. Kid, take another shot. A few students said unwillingly. Yes, take another shot. Bobby wanted to leave, but these people were unwilling to let him leave. There were a few students that were the green belts, and most here were older than him. This was his chance to impress a few of them and show them what he could do. Fine. Bobby shrugged his shoulders and picked up the bow again.